markets have opened up a bit mixed, right? When you're looking at it in terms of Hang Seng, that's managing to hold on to gains of 0.4%. Taiwan index managing to hold on to gains of 1.83% as well. But we have ASX 200, that's very muted in today's trading session. So keep an eye out on that. We have Nikkei, that is also trading with cuts of 0.7%. So a muted start is what we're watching from the Australian index as well as the Japanese index. But on the flip side, you have Hang Seng Taiwan, which are managing to hold on to gains. Now let's pull up the Nifty implied open. What is that indicating? That's indicating a flat start for our market. So not much of a worry actually coming in terms of a further decline. Just 4 points decline right now is what the Nifty implied open is indicating. So very, very flat start. Let's keep an eye out on that. But yes, that's the indication right now from the Asian markets front. But how are these other over global night cues going to be impacting our market? What are the important stocks that you should be keeping on your radar? The FNO story that we're watching out for today. We have a team of research joining in with us. So before I go to Gaurav as well as Sudarshan, let me start you all up with the trade setup for today. US markets, what did we see there? Wall Street, that's our rally. And this is coming in after that fall that we saw on Friday. Wall Street managed to see most of the recovery coming in from that losses that we saw on Friday. Dow actually snaps its 5-day losing streak as well. So that is something that we'll watch out for in terms of positive cue coming in from the US markets. And this all came in after those Trump's dialogue that came in terms of China being, not bad in terms with the trade war over there, or they'll be fine. So that is the commentary that came in. We spoke about this yesterday as well. Now let's talk about what FIIs did. Now in yesterday's trading session, FIIs actually turned sellers, and there were sellers of around 240 crores. This is after buying for four trading sessions. They turned sellers. The DIIs were buyers in yesterday's trading session. So let's keep an eye out on this FII story. Listings that we're watching out for, the big listing coming in today, obviously LG Electronics, that's what everyone is watching out for today. How is that actually going to be shaping up will be something that we'll keep an eye out on. Today we have the important cues coming in terms of WPI data, so watch out for that. Yesterday we had the CPI data came in post-market hours, that came in at 1.54%. So that is interesting to watch out for in terms of the numbers. CNBC-TV18 poll was at 1.54%, and now the poll was at 1.5%. So keep an eye out on CPI inflation data, reaction in the market on that. Star Cement fundraising plans are there. We have earnings reaction to HCL Tech, Anand Rathi Wealth, as well as Just Dial. And earnings reporting today, Persistent System, Tech Mahindra are the important ones on the IT pack. Then we have ICICI Lombard General Insurance, ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, signed DLM, IREDA, as well as Bank of Maharashtra, which will also report their numbers. Nifty, yesterday, a very good recovery that we saw coming in the later half of the day. So keep an eye out on that. Closed just about the 25,200 level. So it will be interesting to watch out for there. And implied open. Just a 4-point decline that we saw coming in, right? So not much of a worry there. But let's move on and talk about important stocks that you all should be keeping on your radar. Let's go across to Gaurav for that. Good morning, Gaurav.
Well, yes. First, let's talk about landmark cars, because for the Q2, company said that the total revenue is up almost by 30% and vehicle sales, that is up almost by 35%. So good set of number here. Anand Rathi came up with inline set of number, we could say, because net profit that increased almost by 30%, while revenue increased almost by 22% on a year-on-year basis. HCL Tech, when we look at net profit, that increased almost by 10% on a year-on-year basis, and at the same time, EBIT margin that came in at around 17.25% versus our own poll of 17.1%. So definitely we saw the number which was better than estimated. Other than that, let's also watch out for Lodha Developers, because company has acquired 100% stake in Chaitanya Bilwa for 500 crores, and with this they also acquired around 8.4 acres of land in Bangalore. KC International, this company won an order worth 1100 crores, and this is in the T&D business. And lastly, let's also focus on Oil India, because company has signed a long-term agreement with NIPCO to continue gas supply to power plant in Assam. Let's also not forget about RBL Bank and IDBI. Both the banks are going to be in focus, and the reason being that, as per media reports, Emirates MBD is in advanced talk to acquire majority stake, which will be around 51% in RBL Bank. This is important for IDBI as well, because this name was also revolving around as a front runner in the IDBI deal. So definitely watching out on both these stocks, and let's see how they react in the market today.
Absolutely, will be important to watch out for these stocks in today's trading session. But what are we watching out for in terms of cues in the world of FNO? We have Sudarshan joining in with us. Sudarshan, what are we expecting today over there? 25,200. What are the levels that we should keep an eye out on?
Good morning, Vinny. So yesterday it was not a bad day of trade and we saw a huge recovery from day's low because tracking the global cues because US futures were also trading higher. But now the key question is, will we hold on to these higher levels and move higher from here also? So now it all depends on the IT names because SL Tech has come out with earnings and those earnings looked much better than expectations. But on the negative side, FIs have turned net sellers again, both on the cash market as well as in the derivative market. Again, they have added more short positions than long positions. Now, as far as GIFT Nifty goes, it's indicating a flat start, but we'll have to see how the majorly IT stocks behave after HCL Tech earnings. Now, FI's long exposure again remains around 7%. As far as the options data goes, on the call side, 25,200, 25,250, 25,400, all these options have seen a huge increase in the open interest, but at the same time, premium for all these options have seen a huge fall. But in the contrary, put options 25,200, 25,100 as well as 25,300 have seen an increase in the premium. So on the downside, support for Nifty remains around 25,150 to 25,200. On the upside, first resistance would be around 25,330 because it's the recent high also. And if we manage to cross that, next resistance comes around 25,450. As far as Nifty Bank goes, support would be around 56,200 and resistance would be 57,000. Nifty Bank has to cross 57,000 to see a huge buying. Two stocks remain in the bank, RBL Bank and Sammaan Capital. Some of the stocks have seen huge or fresh buying or say short covering, and majorly Hero MotoCorp from the auto pack was higher almost 2% yesterday on the back of fresh buying, and L&T Fin ahead of its Q2 earnings is seeing a fresh buying as well.
Okay, Sudarshan, thank you so much for that. We'll keep an eye out on those stocks in the world of F&O. But